my name is Kim. It is wonderful to be here today. I am so excited that they put our presentation on the monetize track because that's really where it belongs. So I'm excited about the audience that it brought here today. All right, so I'll give you a little bit of information on my background. I got my start in the hospitality and travel industry at Cornell at the School of Hotel Administration. When I graduated, I went to work at TravelClick, which some of you may have heard of. It's a provider of booking engine software. At that time, a very, very small part of what we were doing was search engine optimization. And it was very new back then. And of the 100 things that we were doing, that was the area that I thought was really, really interesting and absolutely going to be on the ascent. So after working there for several years, I went to Milestone Internet Marketing, which at the time was a very small business. When I worked there, we were starting to form some of the best practices of SEO, and it was really exciting to be there from the ground up with this industry growing. In 2010, I started an SEO consulting company. I work with businesses all across the country, some international as well. This is a particularly exciting time to be in SEO because, as you can see, it's changed a lot. And as DMOs and as CVBs, these updates should really do nothing but help you because it's getting some of the noise out of the way. And I view that as an incredible opportunity. So in my presentation today, I'm going to focus not on Penguin and Panda because that's already been covered. Thank you for taking those off my hands. So I can really get into some of the details of what can you do with some of the signals that are out there with some of the new trends in search. So I'm going to start with what SEO is not. This is my actual spam box. I took this screen capture last night. This is the top of my spam box. You'll see solicitations for links that are safe from Panda and Penguin. And as awesome of an offer as that is not what we're talking about. That is not search engine optimization. That is not a good strategy. So SEO is not anything you're going to find in my spam box. Even Gmail knows that this is garbage. So what is SEO in today's land? Penguin and Panda covered. Google+, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We'll get into authorship, and we'll wrap up with knowledge graph. So for those of you who came to the presentation today saying, tell me something that's new, something that maybe we don't have all of the best practices for yet, but what's on the horizon? We're going to wrap up with that information in knowledge graph. So let's get into Google+. I love this topic because I always get an eye roll when I start it. And people look at me and they say, do I have to? And the answer is, no, you don't have to. But if you want to, there is tremendous opportunity. So if you want to excel at something that not everybody else is doing and having nailed for the last 10 years, I would say Google+ is a great way to go in that direction. So to give some context here, Google+ released that they have 400 million users, 100 million of which are active users. Facebook has 1 billion users. So let's keep it in its perspective. This isn't the only part of your social strategy. It's a small part of it, but it's an important part of it because of how it's intertwined with search. So for some perspective here on why Google+ matters, you have to look at the bigger picture of, well, why do we need social as a part of search? With search becoming so semantic in nature and needing context to give you truly the best results, they do need to be tailored to you a little bit. It's important that you be able to turn that off, but that's a great set of results that you can get. And you have to have a social component in order to complete that puzzle. Bing doesn't need to do this with the same urgency that Google does. They have relationships with Facebook. They have relationships with Twitter. They don't have the urgency to create Bing Plus as Google does. Google does not have nearly the social information that Bing has based on its relationships. So is Google Plus's audience all that you need for marketing? Absolutely not, but it still matters. So one of the things that I wanted to share some information about is how Google Plus is tied into personalized search. So when I go on and I'm logged into personal search, I'm logged into my Google account, when I do a search for Napa, how does Google know what to show to me in terms of personalized results? Well, maybe you've never noticed this before because it's shaded in light gray, but at the very top of the results, you can click on personal results. And it'll show you all of the data behind all of the personalization. So when I click on that, you'll see everything that's tailored just for me. You won't see this. This is just for me based on my network online. A lot of it having to do with what I've done on Google+, what my network has done on Google+, but on their personal sites as well. So we'll break down this information that's showing here. The first is an image from Napa from a friend's personal site. The next is a photo of Napa cabbage that my mother-in-law posted on her cooking blog. The next is a Google Plus photo that my mother-in-law posted of her wine tasting in Napa. Then you've got another photo from Napa of a cork. Next result is a hotel in Napa shared on Google+. Hotel in Napa shared on Google+. Hotel in Napa shared on Google+. Zagat, which I follow on Google+. A friend of mine who shot and photographed a wedding, posted on Google+. And then below is a video that a friend posted on a personal site. So as you can see, a huge portion of the social information that they're gathering is coming from Google+. This translates into what DMOs and CVBs can do. This is a personal example, but it's true for businesses as well. So where can you start on Google+? What is one thing you can do immediately when you leave this presentation today? Claim your listing. If you don't have a Google+ business page, set it up. If there's any local component that you need to do, set that up. The listings need to be merged together. You should have one Google+ page. One of the things that's interesting about the new Google+ pages, because they've been migrated from Google Local over to Google+ pages, is that there's a greater emphasis on photos, which makes sense because there's so much media that people are searching for. The results are more social. So you can see here that a business can post on here. I can share the results. I can +1 it. You can book OTAs and hotels directly through here oftentimes. If there's a Zagat rating, that's going to be included as well. And one of the things that I really love about the fact that these local listings have been migrated to Google+ is that reviewers now cannot be anonymous. They have to have an identity tied to them. You still have the opportunity to respond to reviews if needed. What impact does this have? So I did a little example to show you how quickly this works these days. I don't suspect it will stay like this forever, but we're still in the Wild West of Google+ days, which is fun and exciting. So a quick example here. I did a search for Ithaca hotels. You can see the results that come up here. I went back to the example that you saw here, and I followed this particular hotel. Once I followed them, and I added them in circles in Google+, they became the very first organic result for me. And I bet you that if you followed me online and you did this same search, this will show more prominently for you. So that's one small example. But when you harness that across all of your followers and your whole network, the impact that this can have is tremendous. Again, I don't suspect it's going to stay this way. It's kind of a disproportionate impact that it's having. Google has acknowledged this. When they first came out with the +1 button, they saw that it had a huge impact on search. Just because I +1 something, it meant it was probably going to be 1 or 2 when you went to go search, if you and I were connected online. They got a lot of very, very negative feedback from that, and so they've corrected it. So this is actually tailored from when it first came out. So if you're asking me for a prediction, I would say that this works right now. It'll probably be scaled back, and then they'll find a balance that people can't spam. We'll have a penguin and panda update of Google+. All right. So what are some other things that are actionable that you can do on Google+? Because Google+ is driven based on circles, that's how you organize your contacts there. One of the things that I've seen a lot of organizations and businesses do very successfully is to take your email marketing list and segment them into circles. And you can target content and specials and promotions towards leisure travelers, towards business travelers, towards people that are interested in a specific attraction or a specific area within the destination. This is an incredibly easy way to provide targeted content to people. In fact, I can't really think of much that's easier to do than this. So this is a really actionable item. The next thing with Google+ that's very cool are Google Hangouts. Has anybody here done any Hangouts or Hangouts on Air? Okay. Hopefully everyone's had good experiences with them. I've had fantastic experiences. They get great reviews online. One of the things that's awesome about it, first of all, it's free. Hangouts on Air, you can have a huge audience of people. This isn't costing you anything. It'll copy the Hangout. It will upload a copy of it to YouTube. Tremendous opportunity to get out to your followers. This is one of the tactics that I've seen people use to help them start building their Google+ following. So offer something exclusive and do it in a Hangout on Air. All of a sudden, people are going to see you there, and they're going to follow you while they are there. Another great actionable tactic is to look at ripples that are shown from posts. So if you have a post that's public on Google+, and it's shared by people publicly, you can follow that whole trail. So as you can see in the screen cap here, this is an example I took. SpaceX put something online with the launch recently. Larry Page shared it, and you can see it had a small impact on its mileage. And you can literally zoom in and zoom in and zoom in and get the individual names of people. So what is the application of this? Look and see who your supporters are. Look who your followers are. Reach out to those people. Network with them. These are the people that are getting you mileage online. You should know who they are, and you have a really easy way all of a sudden to see who they are. It's one of the most awesome and actionable things about Google+. All right, what else can you do to stay current and innovate? Authorship. There's a statistic out there that of the people who've set up authorship, 9% of them have it working properly. So let's get into this a little bit. What is authorship, first of all? It's this. So when you see these results, which one do you want to click on? You know you want to click on the one with the photo. You do. And it's authorship that helps you to set that up, to get that profile photo in there, and to help aggregate other posts by that author. It's an incredibly useful thing for the click-through rate. So in the tests that we've run, we've seen the click-through rate has improved significantly for those who have set up authorship. Because search is becoming more social, we're seeing that identities are tied often to individuals and not just to the company. And this is a great way to harness that. I can give you a personal example of success with this. I spoke at a conference in Sonoma, and when I got back, I had promised the attendees I would post the handout online. So I posted it put it in a blog post, and I posted that on Google+. I had authorship set up on that, and as soon as I posted it, like I said, this is one of these disproportionately fast things that happens, it started to get visibility, and the blog post was starting to get visibility for Sonoma SEO. So think of that and apply that to what you can do in terms of getting mileage for events and other information, local destination information that you have. You can tie that directly to an author. Tremendous opportunity for click-through rates. In terms of setting it up, essentially what you need to know is that you have to create a loop. You need a loop that says on your Google+ profile, I am a contributor to this website or to this blog. And then on the website or the blog, you say, this is my Google+ profile, I own this. And you create a loop, and that verifies your identity. There are many different ways that you can do this, and for those of you that want specifics, come see me afterwards. I would be happy to help increase this 9% of people who don't have it set up properly. And I've got links in this presentation as well for instructions for how to set that up, and then once you have it set up, how to test it with the structured markup tool. This will all be available, so don't worry about writing it down. And the last thing I'm going to wrap up with here is knowledge graph. So for those of you who came to this presentation and you said, I want to skate to where the puck is going, not where it's been. This is what I would tell you to start learning about. I don't have magic answers for you necessarily for how to do search engine optimization on this. I do have a handful of tips, but this is something that I think is one of the absolute coolest things that Google has done all year. They released the knowledge graph in May. Wait, what is the knowledge graph? It's this. It's what you see on the right-hand side in this box. It's the collection of facts pertaining to what your query is. When they have an exact answer for you, or they believe that they do, they show it to you in this form, in the knowledge graph. This is incredible. Look at how many ads this is displacing. They think it's that valuable that they're going to displace all those ads with facts. I have to think that this is something that's going to become very important, especially as a DMO. You have a lot of facts about the destination. This is an incredible opportunity and something we really should be paying attention to. When you click on one of those individual attractions, you'll see it brings up the carousel. This is brand new. This was just released in August. So what can you do to start getting relevancy on this? Create a circle for each one of these destinations within your Google+ page. Share information. Be the authority on that. That's what's incredible about these algorithmic changes, is that they're all working in your favor. How is this information devised? This information comes from a variety of sources. One of the main ones is Freebase. This is the database that Google purchased. This is open source. You can go in here and you can look at all of the facts, all of the information. It's downloadable, so you can come in here, you can parse through it, you can look at the syntax, all of that. It's all available to you. What's actionable? Do a search for your destination. And I know I have a handful of hotels and resorts in the audience as well, so I was going to use a hotel example here. If I'm the Hotel Hershey, I do a search directly for my hotel's name. I can verify the information is correct by hitting feedback if anything is incorrect. And once you do that, it'll give you the ability to submit any information that's incorrect or wrong. What's really cool about this is that not only does this information get fixed directly with Google, but it also sends a feed to Wikipedia and to Freebase. Wikipedia is another power of the knowledge graph, in addition to Google Maps and Google Shopping. All right, so I'll wrap up from here. Where do you start? Start the conversation on your website with factual, structured content. Ultimately, this is where we're going with things like the knowledge graph. Use the kind of content that you know they're looking for. Go through Freebase, look at the database. What did they purchase all of this data for? Be a contributor there. The fluffy content and the thin content that we were talking about, it doesn't get user-generated content and it doesn't get engagement, and we don't want to be a part of that. And you can use Google Plus to share targeted content with your circles, post, share specials, link to useful things that are great for your user. It's all about the user. It always has been, and Google is finally on our side and making honest people of us SEO folks. All right, thank you.